Before we start today's video, China Insider has been demonetized by YouTube, so please subscribe to our new channels, David on China and David Zhang 360, as we navigate the situation and the transition, as well as new content will be posted there first. Today, be ready to meet the real-life Marvel superheroes in China. People who can apparently navigate the quantum realm, a man's touch so accurate they're calling him the Golden Fingers. Chinese internet users are having a field day after stumbling upon this state media-made propaganda series, and they started making fun of it, making memes, satirical videos, mocking the segments from the show. And the show's name is called Master Craftsmen of a Great Country. And the idea obviously is to highlight these trade experts or blue-collar workers who are really good at what they're doing on the production line, highlighting how artisanal skills and I guess factory prowess are major achievements in modern-day China. Obviously, it's supposed to be this propaganda stimulus for the mass, right? Let's first meet Mr. Pei, a blue-collar worker at a steel machine manufacturing plant in the Northeast, or as I like to call him, Chinese Magneto. At first glance, this man looks like he's in a Zen mode playing the guitar or some Chinese instrument, drowning in the music with his eyes closed. But he's actually feeling the thickness of the metals down to a millimeter on a production line. Yeah, think about that. Here's the dramatic graphic showing when he can apparently tell when the metal thickness reaches 7 millimeter, and this part here, 19 millimeter. I knew that technically speaking, human finger, or like the sensation for touch, can feel things as small as 13 nanometers. But that's under a very specific condition. And this man apparently has fingers with measurement attached to it. Like, the thing is, right, he's doing it with his eyes closed. So this dude, can you imagine? Okay, so you know how Chinese medicine, Chinese doctors, they feel your pulse if you've ever seen anything like that, right? The point is, you can detect some stuff. This dude is like the metal doctor. Who needs AI and precision instruments? Just replicate this guy's DNA. We're already starting this video off with an Omega level mutant, right? Chinese Magneto. Honestly, if China had so many great craftsmen, this type of thing wouldn't happen, right? Next up is Chinese Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Against Imperial American sanctions, obviously, just like how Tony in that cave created the first Iron Man suit, Mr. Feng here is using hand tools to craft important parts for their J-15 fighter jets. Yeah, dude, that guy had a cup of water on his file. So literally the most practical way to make things, for a fighter jet at that. And next up, we have Chinese Hawkeye. Meet the master craftsman who can spot apparently plus or minus 0.4 micrometers differences at a glance.
你的眼睛能看见0.4微米。
这个要光一点，这个要差一点，
超一点。
而且这个差一点的范围应该是在0.4正负5/5左右。
0.4毫米还是？
不，0.4 UM 微米。对 UM。
And this master and his team went on a Chinese reality TV, and they're trying to differentiate things in the microscopic realm. Dude was watching bacteria swimming, apparently. Now, the meme was so good, Chinese short drama writers already hopped on it.
远见。
内壁裂纹，目测1个微米，问题不大。天籁集团验收前，肯定可以修复。
打眼就看出1微米的物体了。
Okay, next, we're about to meet the Dr. Hank Pym of China. So the guy who made the Pym particle going to the quantum realm, right? We have quantum level powers now. Step aside Deadpool. The real Marvel Jesus is this guy. So this man is able to apparently, according to him, as he claims, roll 5 nanometer wires needed for aeronautics.
5纳米的航天零件，连顶级机器都甘拜下风。
能量我的这个尺子还没有。
Wait. Did he just say that there's no rulers that exist to measure his wire's diameter and size? So that's basically like the emperor's new clothes. Is he wearing it or is he not? In this case, is it really 5 nanometers or is it not? Dude could just be rubbing against the table the entire time for all these years for all we know and can't measure it. And then we have the new master of the mystic arts. This guy is literally rewriting the rules of physics and math, Mr. Hong. So this dude is holding a vernier caliper, which is to measure the diameter or thickness of anything, right? Usually there are some sort of a tube or cylindrical like rod thing. And the problem is internet users found out that this so-called master craftsman doesn't seem to even know how to use a basic tool. It turns out the way he's measuring things is actually terribly wrong. The caliper has multiple sides. There's actually the top one, which is the inner jaws. That's used to measure the inner diameter within, like if you have a hollow rod. And then you have the outer jaws, which are the much larger ones at the bottom. They're for measuring the external dimensions, right? So, and there's other uses and functions for the caliper too. But the point is, in this photo, Mr. Hong is using the large jaws to apparently measure the external dimension, but he's holding it wrong. Because you're not supposed to measure that rod like that. You're supposed to hold it perpendicular.
下面的这个卡是卡外径的，这样去卡的没有就是说这样去卡的
才发现啊，这个游标卡尺它是这样用的。以前我们量钻石的直径都是这样卡，这样卡肯定是不对的。这是最近跟一个老师傅学的。
So someone made a video on Chinese social media Douyin saying that, look, the man's rod isn't actually a cylindrical rod, it's a hexagonal rod. Bro, even then, you don't measure it that way, and that's exactly what the comments are saying. But this isn't really the reality bending part yet, because Mr. Hong allegedly claimed that he had 7,000 annual work hours, 7,000 plus hours, which equates to about 19 hours per day, non-stop, 365 days a week. So this article here in 2017 featuring him said that while others finished 4,000 hours of work in a year, which is still insane, by the way, because that's about 312 work days per year, 6 days a week, and you're still working about 12.8 hours per day, 6 days a week. So like that's still a very insane schedule. But like whoever does that is already pretty impressive, right? Mr. Hong is able to complete over 7,000 work hours within a year. What that means is he's literally working every single day, 365 days a year, without rest, no day off, 19 hours a day. So this dude literally sleeps for 5 hours, and somehow he's still able to precisely measure things? Definitely not, right? Like, dude needs sleep. So like he literally exceeded others by 3,000 hours somehow. Anyways, so this dude is using the, I guess you would say either a reality bending mystic arts or some type of, I don't know, the shadow clone jutsu to double or triple his work days, or was he, work maxing to the next level that somehow we don't understand on a human level that he does because he's just, he's so up there. Anyways, if by now you haven't figured out how fake these are, well, these featured so-called craftsmen are actually fake. Or even if they're really skilled, the way that they're being portrayed, it's kind of sending them to the next level, which is simply not true. Now, there's also some other funny ones, like apparently in China, emergency shut-off knobs on different machines can be used to turn into adjustment knobs for micro measurement changes on a machine. So this was featured in one of the episodes of the Master Craftsman of Great Powers. A worker can be seen adjusting the emergency stop knob as if it's like a dial to control the production line. And internet users found this to be hilarious, so they even made this combo meme with the caliper, the stop knob, and everything in between. You got to measure the shut-off knob with a caliper to make sure that you're micro-adjusting your quantum realm interaction to make space, I don't know, for some 5-nanometer wire.
大家好，今天又学了一招急停按钮调精度，打个工匠，谁用谁知道。
All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of the hilarious Chinese propaganda series that even Chinese internet users can't really understand. But it's funny, so let's just keep it like that. Thank you so much for watching on David on China, and if you're watching on China Insider, make sure to subscribe to our new channel, David on China and David Zhang 360. That's where we'll continue to post new videos as China Insider has been demonetized. All right, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.